Nathan Drake.
Swan dive! Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am philipcroft for those who don't know me, and I am a big Tomb Raider fan. And I have exciting news today. IGN just released 2 videos of Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis because there's a new demo that's been out and it's being shown to people. And we have gameplay of it, so let's react to it. Let's analyze everything that we can on Lara Croft and Tomb Raider. And I'm excited, let's go! Okay guys, this is the first video that IGN released. This is Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, the first preview. I believe we're gonna see gameplay, so let's just get right into it.
Gotta say, you captured your good side.
I still can't believe they mentioned Curtis there.
You played one of Lara Croft's many adventures, or at least one of the cinematic action adventures that her original 1996 expedition inspired.
Well, yes.
That be the Uncharted, Horizon, or Star Wars Jedi series. But now it's time to go all the way back, as Legacy of Atlantis takes us full
back
circle
to Mother,
reimagining
back to Mother.
The story that kick-started an entire genre.
The first preview.
We recently had the opportunity to play through its short water puzzle, cartwheel, and dinosaur shootout filled demo.
Wait, that's new! Oh, she dashes!
With a gorgeous new lick of paint and more modern tweaks sprinkled in.
This mechanism looks like the waterfall regulator, but clearly it's not working.
Alex's voice!
We were left intrigued to see how deep this merging of an old story told using a new box of tricks will go when the full game releases next February.
Okay, Legends. Okay, let's just watch everything and then we'll analyze.
Video games, and if you've picked up a controller and attempted
Lost
to play
Valley,
the original Tomb Raider recently, nothing emphasizes that like how Lara Croft controls. Stiff and heavy, with your thumbs the victim of her sluggish turning circle, Lara's maneuverability resembles that of a transatlantic ocean liner more than an enterprising
That's a mouthful.
explorer. Thankfully, this remake, co-developed by the series' long-term custodian Crystal Dynamics and newcomer Flying Wild Hog, fixes this. This Lara is light on her feet, with a floaty jump more reminiscent of Princess Peach than Nathan Drake.
Swan dive!
First, especially if you've become accustomed to the adhesive-fingered approach that Naughty Dog injected into the action-adventure game.
Okay, Legends. Wait, I am loving this like underworld vibe to it.
We made it, Dad.
This Lara still clings onto some of the old school movement feel
Body
of the PS1
body
original,
tea.
something that admittedly proved a bit of a struggle
I
during the
love
demo's
that.
early moments, but in time we found this freer feeling
Did you
Lara
hear?
enjoyable to control, even if her jumps did make us wonder if the Lost Valley in Peru had become some sort of zero-gravity zone. Ultimately, its more old-school influenced approach helps build into the idea that you're truly exploring an environment.
Wait, that's new as well. Oh my god.
A set path. The small area of jungle we were dropped into
The
contained
cog
one of
puzzle,
the
yes,
classic cog and
yes.
water puzzles that Lara has worked her way through dozens of times over the years. Using a full exploration suite of climbing, swimming, and grappling around a miniature
y'all, I'm obsessed
sandbox,
with this
we
one
went in
dive.
search of the missing machine components that would unlock the giant gates
water
blocking
sections.
Lara's progress. Helpful here was the brand new grapple gadget that can be fired
The new
out of
grapple
Lara's wrist,
gadget.
Spider-Man style. These are
interesting.
puzzles design-wise, but made modern by smart additions like this grapple. Tweaks such as these really display Legacy of Atlantis' desire to
Damn,
make
y'all, this is beautiful.
more
What the
than
hell?
just a remake, borrowing from the likes of Crystal Dynamics'
They changed
more
it so
recent
much.
trilogy and how it approaches Lara's toolkit.
Decoration or spare part?
A further addition is the
she's
number of
witty
collectibles
again.
littered throughout the world, and the ability to survey the
legend of
in
it
search
all.
of the secrets using Lara's scanner. From what we
That's
can
a
tell, Legacy of
scanner.
Atlantis is still a largely linear adventure, but venturing off the main path will reward you with all sorts of treasures, whether they be documents that build out the
Let me
lore of
actually
an
activate
ancient
subtitles. I'm so
civilization,
sorry that I
or
didn't have that
objects that
before.
grant Lara extra skill points.
Oh, I love that we
Unfortunately,
have
the
more
skill tree
murals to
menu was
analyze.
locked off to us in the demo, so we can't tell exactly how we'll be able to tweak her abilities, but its mere existence is again a sign of newfound depth. And that all makes sense, because although Legacy of Atlantis is a retelling of the British adventurer's first story, it's actually part of the same universe now as the prequel trilogy that ran between 2013
we were told that, yes.
and 2018.
It's the only thing that makes sense to me now.
This isn't her first rodeo video, and she boasts the skills to show for it. This is best displayed in combat, of which we got a tiny taste after stepping through the huge doorway opened up by the aforementioned cog-finding problem solving. It was on the other side that we were welcomed by a gang of hungry velociraptors, a far more vicious resident of Peru than Paddington Bear.
Are those like quick
That's
actions?
for the best, though,
oh
because
damn, the kicks!
Rounds into one of Britain's most adorable imports would have probably left.
I'm not sure I love that dash, but I think it maybe can grow on me.
Deadly exports to take on these prehistoric menaces instead, dodging, cartwheeling, and backflipping out of the way of their deadly lunges. Get enough room between them and you'll be able to fire those iconic double pistols that handily come complete with unlimited ammo. The shooting felt
unlimited ammo. Okay, perfect.
Really came alive once another new skill up Lara's non-existent sleeves was introduced. The focus system. Look, we don't have that much footage, so I'm just going to show you all that again, right? Performing well-timed acrobatics during combat,
it seems like something very
time builds up the focus
Underworld,
charges that can be
anniversary.
of the right bumper. Upon doing so, she stylishly spins into the air and enters bullet time, allowing you to unload full magazines into enemies as they practically freeze in the line of fire. It's a great addition to the action, further bringing these classic fights
classic Lara,
into the
my beloved,
while giving Lara a welcome edge in encounters. We're intrigued to see if
that
more
gameplay
powerful
though.
uses of these focus changes await deeper in the game, perhaps where they could be used in a similar way to how Sucker Punch's Ghost series grants you devastating attacks and abilities.
I'm not the biggest fan of like slow motion actions, but we'll see how that works. We'll see how that feels.
Before we could experiment too much with Tomb Raider's own take on gun fu, a rude interruption was made as one of the series' most iconic moments took over the scene. Into the arena stepped a towering T-Rex, which made both Lara and her previous foes flee the scene with haste. We're having to use footage from Anniversary to illustrate this because we weren't given B-roll of the new T-Rex segment, but we can say the sequence has undergone a complete facelift,
that's
translating the primitive capabilities.
I also don't want them to show everything
into something entirely more cinematic. Rather than a simple shooting affair, the scene now begins with a playable chase down a treacherous jungle pathway as Lara slides, swings, and clambers to escape a sharp-toothed maw.
SMR feel the pistols have to me.
The cinematography and effective use of slow motion as Lara slides between the dinosaur's legs, mirrored by a great sense of muddled bewilderment and desperation in the voice of Alex Wilton Reagan, the latest actor to pick up the dual
I've been obsessed with her already.
And partway through this attempted escape is where our time with Legacy of Atlantis ended, as Lara plunged into a river, her rope bridge escape route destroyed by the T-Rex. This cliffhanger concluded a short but very look at what this latest reboot of Tomb Raider has to offer, and so far it feels like all the necessary ingredients are there. At its core, the design attempts to blend the classic
I think they did a really good job
with a more modern
combining everything
and exploration.
This figure they're worshipping, could it be Qualipeg?
What more could you ask for? We're looking forward to see how all that comes together when Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis arrives on February 12th, 2027 for PlayStation 5,
I want to play so bad.
Series X and S, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. You could play it in the Peruvian jungles, imagine that. For more on Tomb Raider, why not check out our exclusive behind-the-scenes clip? And for everything else,
I
Lara
love
Croft,
that video as
stick
well.
with IGN.
I can only trust you with this.
Our Natla. I want them to confirm Sarah Michelle Gellar so bad. Let's just watch some bits again, because we were shown some pretty exciting things. Because as we can see, we are not fighting the dinosaurs in that. We have this dash that I'm quite not sure if I like it. It feels almost as a little supernatural to Lara. I will need to give it some time. I will need to try and see how it feels to be played. I'm assuming that's like a button for us to kind of just dash and have quick action events. We'll see. We'll see how it is. Tell me in the comments as well if you guys enjoy this mechanic throughout all the games, because this is not something really new to gamers, right? I'm just not really quite sure if it's you know, the best thing here. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see. This is just like first impressions based as well. We can just take out the subtitles. This is also something very new.
This mechanism looks like the waterfall regulator, but clearly it's not working.
This is very interesting. I wonder how this will play out in like all the environments. I wonder if we can like scan everything that we see, or maybe this just works for like interactable things. So maybe interactable puzzles, and apparently Lara does talk to us through it all, so that's quite nice. I always like that feeling of being alone in the classics and Lara just keeping everything basically to herself. Only thing that you hear is her voice and her grunts, and then the cutscenes where she talks to people and whatnot. But I always liked that version of Legend, which actually is my personal all-time favorite of Tomb Raider is Tomb Raider Legends. I always liked how Lara Legend always talks to us and always talks to Zip and Alistair through her earpod, and she just like gives us like facts about things. So I'm excited to see how this will work as well. I believe they are really doing a good job merging everything together. So I do wonder how this is gonna be, which I'm very excited. We're getting so many new things and I cannot wait for February. But yeah, as we can see, this is clearly about the cog puzzle on Lost Valley. We of course at the more right side of the screen, we see something maybe grabbable, jumpable, maybe that's gonna fall over and it's gonna activate some mechanism, and then eventually we will get a new cog to unlock the puzzle and eventually open up everything in the level. And then we also have this. This is new. So we see the pickaxe, right? We always knew the pickaxe from the reboot trilogy. We either would use one on the beginning of the game. Eventually, we always had two pickaxes to kind of climb and to just traverse through the areas. We see Lara with one now, and she is trying to get into a certain place. So she cuts down some leaves. So I believe this is like what they found the way to load a new part of the map, because we know we always have those invisible loading screens. I believe this is the way that they did that. So with the pickaxe, if you guys remember on the second trailer shown at PlayStation State of Play, we actually do see the pickaxe laying down on the floor whenever we see the first initial outfit, the red one. So I'm assuming Lara kept it, right? I'm assuming Lara kept that from there and is just using it throughout all the game. So I believe this is how we're gonna use it. We are just gonna kind of trying to cut down to go into the doors or to destroy something. So that's gonna be very interesting to see. So now we also have Lara at some ledges. So this is feeling quite nice because we always know that we like to traverse through some edges and to just see her going into everything and doing her beautiful moves with a lot of poise, and like we always did in the classic games as well. So that's gonna be fun. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see everything that we're gonna have based on like new moves. I'm excited for this swan dive as well. Oh my god, that looked beautiful. Let me see that again. Yee! This is gonna be so cool to just play and replay. Honestly, I'm just gonna be one of those players, like I always was in my childhood as well, just to, honestly, not even to do the level itself. Back in my day, I just used to play Tomb Raider, and I would just be performing flips, performing all kinds of stunts. So if this game can give us that whenever we want to use it, I'm just gonna be so pleased. I can really be immersive in this environment and just be wherever I have Lara Croft in the map. I will just be performing all kinds of stunts and swan dives when I can. So this will be interesting because even in the classics we can do that. I wonder if you can even swan dive on the floor, because we can do that with classic Lara. So that's going to be an interesting take to it. But also they have to keep it realistically at the same time, so I don't know how it's going to go I don't know how they're gonna work that out, but I'm glad we're gonna have some ledges to traverse. It just feels more dynamic. I think that's the perfect word, dynamic. And then we see her on the bridge as well. Body tea. We love to see her. And she just looks beautiful. Let me actually see this part as well. So I believe this is those traversal places where we can have Lara kind of having a little balance on these pillars. So I believe that's going to be very interesting to see as well. Of course, we weren't shown everything. I also want some things to be like a secret, you know? I don't want to be spoiled of everything. I'm just glad we're being shown something, and that's gonna be really, really interesting to try for ourselves. So in here, we actually see Lara Croft grappling through some ropes. So this is kind of reminiscing of the reboot trilogy, where we always needed to use a lot of rope, and even on the LAU trilogy, where we always needed to use our grapple to bring something down. So just like I said earlier, I really enjoy how much they are bringing through every single installment so far, and I believe that's going to be very fun. And unfortunately, the community has been so separated into kind of like these eras. There's the classic era, the LAU era, and then the reboot era. I really am glad that maybe we're gonna finally have a game where all of us just comes together to celebrate Lara Croft herself and the Tomb Raider franchise. I personally, I was a fan of everything. Of course, I do have my favorites, I do have my least favorites, and we just have been going on this adventure with Lara Croft with so many ups and downs. And I think it's just really exciting to see how this reimagining will bring everything together, because I feel like this will be the game that finally brings Lara Croft to her full potential. And then eventually we will be going to Catalyst as well, because that's going to be the newest installment, and I'm excited to try that out too, because it looked amazing. So in here we were shown Lara Croft underwater, so this actually looks pretty sick. So I'm really excited to see how we have some puzzles in the water, because we do have the water puzzles through to get the cogs on the classic level. So now we see the cog just going and going and going, because yeah, they will be doing this puzzle quite differently, because if you guys remember, if you've played the classics or if you played the remasters, we do have the cog puzzle on a wall. So in here we have the cogs being quite big, and I believe Lara Croft will do this puzzle and connecting the cogs and the mechanism in the water. So I like that they are changing some things while still keeping the essence of everything, because it's basically the same puzzle with the same objective, which is to go through, but they changed it a little. So it's new, it feels fresh, so I'm really excited. So in here, we were also shown some dinosaur gameplay of fighting. And we do see Lara just making these kicks and the said already dash. So I'm excited to see as well how that's gonna be played, because we're gonna have some quick events, like I said earlier. I'm really excited to see. And also this, she does backflips. I'm really excited those are back. We can literally just play like classic Lara, but in the more modern version of her. And this is feeling quite nice, it's feeling quite quick. And I'm actually not sure about this as well, because we see Lara, as we were shown as well on the other trailers. I believe I can show you again. We see Lara shooting like this. I wonder if it's going to be an option or if they are going to tweak that out ever. I'm not saying that they need to, but I'm just wondering how it is, because in the classic version, we mainly fight with the pistols and shooting them at the same time. Of course, sometimes there's a few frames of shooting where you can actually get the pistols to be fought, to be shot individually. And I believe this is like gonna be the main thing on this game as well. We're gonna shoot the guns individually. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see how that's gonna go. But I am really glad that I have the dual pistols back. If there's something that I really would love to have on the reboot trilogy, was for us to be having the dual pistols. They never actually worked that out in those games. So it's finally back in its full glory. And we can even defend ourselves with the pickaxe. So that's fun to have that kind of gameplay as well. because on the reboot trilogy, we would always use the pickaxe as like a finisher to a kill, and sometimes we could even fight with it. In here, it's kind of like, I don't want to be saying this word to be like precise, but it kind of felt like a parry in some ways. I do play a lot of Souls games, so it's just kind of the word that's coming up to mind. But it kind of felt like some sort of parry, and it did feel quite nice. It did feel quite nice. And yeah, I believe that's like the end of our shown demo on this IGN video. So let's just move on to the other, shall we? Okay, so this video is Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis devs on Unreal Engine 5, connecting to the Survivor trilogy and more. So this is basically gonna be and feel like an interview, and I'm really excited because if you guys saw the previous video that IGN released on the Summer Game Fest, it was absolutely amazing to see how the creators and the developers of this game were talking and how excited they were about everything. And you could just feel the love and the dedication that they have for this game for the past years. And I'm excited to see them talk, so let's see.
Hey, I'm Ryan McCaffrey with IGN at Summer Game Fest Play Days. We're playing a ton of stuff this weekend, and first up on my docket was Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis,
Let's
the remake of
go.
the original classic Tomb Raider. I'm here with 3 of the leads from the team. Guys, introduce yourselves real quick.
My name is Hausikeda. I'm the game director.
Jeff Adams, I am the experience director.
And I'm Arek Tomaszewski, art director.
Oh, that shirt! Oh
Brilliant.
my god, did you see
So
that
guys,
shirt?
It has been
I wonder if
a
that's
long time
merch.
since the first game came out. Obviously, we're celebrating an anniversary here with this remake, but
30 years, yo, my god.
First question to you is, how do you balance the design and approach to a remake like this? Because odds are most people will either be playing this for the first time at this point, 30 years on.
Yeah,
or
I'm glad this
if
brings
you're
more
old like
people
me
as
and
well.
did play the original. It's been so long that I don't even remember. So kind of how do you balance the new stuff versus staying true to the original?
The first thing is to make sure that we want to make sure that we have a recognizable experience for folks like you that have played the game before. But we also don't want to be handcuffed by that. We want to make sure that we are able to make creative decisions that are going to help make this game appealing to both fans and modern gamers
That's
alike.
very fair.
So it's being very respectful to the past, but also finding ways to push forward into new territory.
That's exactly how I would go
just
about
a
it
little
as
bit of color
well.
to that. Internally, we reference a lot this game as a love letter to fans. So we wanted to make sure that regardless of whether you're not your old player,
It just makes me so
or if you're a
happy
new one,
hearing
you
these
should get the
things.
same feeling of it. We wanted to capture the same feeling that you had when you played the original one, but at the same time, this is also a great entry point. So balancing, to answer your question about balancing the design, it's about finding the iconic moments that we want to preserve, make sure that those are respected and original,
Perfect.
and finding the areas in which we can color outside the lines and add things like there wasn't a puzzle here before, but we could. There wasn't a collectible. Maybe there's more things for you to explore.
Interesting. They're
Not as
gonna go the
common here in modern
anniversary
games.
way,
So
I would say.
lots of like those details that just kind of naturally come throughout the process of reimagining and making sure that balancing that with the iconic moments to create something that hopefully everyone will enjoy.
You probably
Perfect.
had the most freedom on this project because obviously you get the whole thing from scratch basically on the art side.
Well, not exactly. Like, we're trying to be respectful to the original. So
Okay, I'm
whenever
obsessed
you
with that
squeeze
shirt,
your
I'm
eyes,
sorry.
You can see, you can see the same colors, you can have the same vibe. And we
Okay.
want to build the same emotions for the players that they felt when they played the original one. So we want you to feel isolated, we want you to have this feel of discovery. So there is the limitations. We couldn't just go super crazy, but yes, we could push, the art and visuals as much as we could.
And it
within
does
the
look
limit of just
visually
creating
stunning.
the same memories and emotions for the players.
And it
I
seems
love this
like
shot of
so I just
Lara.
played 45 minutes worth of it. It seems like Unreal Engine 5 suits this game very, very well with like the nanite stuff and all the sort of just little technical details that we know this engine is capable of.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're just trying to take the technology and just squeeze as much as we can out of it, and Unreal helps us a lot with that. It empowers our people to, create the worlds that you've just seen, and I'm hopefully that people will just enjoy them, but yeah.
So how close of a one-to-one remake is this at the end of the day? I'm sort of curious. where
Reimagine, I would
that
say.
line
I wouldn't
gets
call
drawn.
it remake.
I'd hate to spoil it for anyone, before they get a chance to play it, but I think I can confidently say that it is not a one-to-one experience, but as Arik was saying with the environments, also with the experience overall, the story, there are going to be clearly recognizable beats that fans that do have history are going to recognize, but there's going to be a lot of fun stuff there that is going to be new for everybody.
I love that, because I still want to be surprised.
As an example, because that's been in the trailers. I just played that. So that's, would you guys agree that when anybody, if you think back about most memorable moments from the original game, is that top of the list, right? That's number one.
100%.
So walk me through recreating that then, and like how, what you wanted to capture from the original versus sort of modernizing a bit, as you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of the fun parts of a reimagining, right? Like it's zooming in on like what was the feeling that we all got when we saw the blockiest T-Rex coming out of the corner from Peru in like 96, right? And looking at like the plethora of work that we've done with Tomb Raider over in the next 30 years of that.
The new dinosaurs are insane.
We've gotten really good about making like these epic set piece moments.
I love the feathery look.
I feel like it leverages the traversal components of it and does a pretty good job of telling that story. So it was kind of like a no-brainer from the get-go that we wanted the T-Rex to be more impactful. We wanted more presence. We wanted to feel more than just an enemy that you come up, shoot it, and then be done with it. Because it just had that, like, I think, everlasting feeling
I'm really
for us
excited
and all the fans.
to
Like,
see
even if you only shot it and killed it, we all remember the T-Rex. So
if the dinosaur
look back on it and go like, if we can give it more screen time,
or
if
feels
we can
like
turn it into like a longer sequence, how would we go about it?
Resident Evil
like
3 chase
with the Survivor trilogy, when like we got really good at making Lara run away from avalanches, floods, bears, and all the other things. Those two kind of like were a very good marriage of the two.
So this one's I'd love to hear from each of the three on this. What's the most holy cow moment in the game visually for each of you guys?
Visually, you haven't seen it yet, but from what you saw, like you can see all the vistas. We want to give player arenas that they can just look and have a feeling of discovery.
I'm so excited to see Atlantis.
I agree
personally.
With the vistas in this game are just mind-blowingly pretty. There is one level, which I'm not going to say because it's not the level that we showed today, but there is a vista in
But it's a remake, you can tell us.
Okay,
all right. We got to get the marketing term in there.
Come on.
I mean, I just wanted to like basically what Jeff said, but basically it gives us more room to add extra flavors within being respectful to the players.
That was smart about Atlantis
just a remake,
as well.
we'd have to do it one-to-one, and yeah, that's the main difference for us.
So for me, it's not necessarily the most bombastic moment, and it's somewhat adjacent to what you played, but there is a section in that area where the first time I saw it on screen with Lara against the backdrop, it was just this moment of like hearing a song click for the first time, and you're like, "Oh my God, that is it!" And
is that gonna be back?
I expected a modern Tomb Raider experience to.
That I understood that right? Like when you do a puzzle, it plays the music.
It's one of my favorite moments, so I look forward to people guessing what that is. I think it's safe to say that we would approach it in much the same way. The difference
I'm
is
excited about the soundtrack too.
Have an idea of what the high level end goal is, but we still have to go through all the same development processes to make sure we're putting something on screen that is going to not only stand up to modern sensibilities, but also stand up to the test of time.
I totally agree, and I think the component of reimagining something, I think we all started from the same place. We should play back 96, we should play back Anniversary, and then really remember, because for some of us, much like you, was like, hey, it's been 30 years, like I don't remember what any of these things are.
I'm glad they're not
getting
erasing
back
history.
To a baseline of
I'm
like, okay,
so glad
what are
about
the
that.
core moments of the game that we are excited about, that we think the fans are excited about, and we need to preserve. And then when you take a step beyond that, we go into like, cool, what does combat look like? What does traversal look like? Do we give her a grapple hook? So like those moments, I think to Jeff's point, feel very natural to how we make games as a whole, not necessarily because it's a reimagining. So there's still quite a bit of room for us to look at the work that was done before, but also ingest like some new blood and some new ideas into it. And some of those ideas work, some of them don't, because it's game development. But at the end of the day, I think like
my perspective is just basically a reference.
I think that was
it's
a
massive
cut there.
reference that you can just always dig in and look for the key moments and the key places that you remember.
I wonder what he said. Did he spoil something?
I don't remember the whole game before I replayed it before this project, but I had those key moments. I had like memories that's been created. So for me, it's just basically a resource to create those memories again for the people who haven't played. Like you.
I'm sorry, but they're saying everything right. I could not be more excited.
the homework at the beginning of the project for the whole team, everybody played or replayed
Yes.
the original. What were, and I'm sure you put up a bunch of stuff on a whiteboard, like cool stuff that we loved and maybe stuff that we don't want to include in a game coming out in 2027. Like, can you speak to that a little bit of like the learning process of okay, we all did our homework. Now, what do we want to take away from this?
It's a lot of like mapping it out and saying, hey, you know, we've basically, you know, reconstructed the original experience in our current metrics. And then from there it's saying, okay, what would the devs who are making the past games that, you know, that are telling this story, you know, what were they going for? And how can we better achieve that in modern technology? And so that's why the moments like you talk about, the vista that you see, they're like, oh, that's so great. You know, that's what all of our teams have been striving toward. And we just are now at a place now where the technology is caught up to where we can actually start to deliver it. So it's just about trying to make it the most faithful Tomb Raider experience.
You know, I've been talking about, because I've been playing games for a long time, about players who may have played the original, but I suspect that, you know, of the players that will play Legacy of Atlantis, there'll be a much larger contingent of people who played the reboot trilogy that Crystal Dynamics did and the Montreal team did for the third one. So what's going to be kind of like, how do you approach it with that in mind of like, okay, this is, because that's the baseline, I think, for what a lot of your player base will end up being. Obviously, the grappling hook seems like...
No, I don't really agree with that question, honestly.
It's important for us that Lara has a Survivor series in her past, but she is not beholden to it in Legacy of Atlantis. So we are finding Lara at a particular point in her career where you are seeing her in her prime, and that's what we're focusing on.
That's what we need.
I guess canonically, is this a separate universe than the, like, are we going that deep?
It's very hard to say because there's so many changes that need to be made.
Well, I mean, multiverses are interesting, but no.
Now I'm genuinely wondering because, like,
this is such a weird discussion because it's really hard to enter that
remake of the original. And
but I get his point in trying to have an actual answer.
Is this being treated as its just complete own independent Tomb Raider, or
no?
It does
no. The events of the Survivor series did occur. And this is the same Lara.
It is in the same universe,
but we are finding her at this point in her career.
Okay, cool. That's pretty sweet. All right, just a couple
we
more
know
for
that.
You guys, and
it does make sense to be that.
So, any sort of behind the scenes stuff?
Just a little break. We're not going to continue watching the video, of course, but just a little break. In my mind, it works as you have the Survivor trilogy, and then you get into Legacy of Atlantis, and then you get to Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Angel of Darkness, Legends. Of course, you have Anniversary, which kind of counts as well because it still goes on with a little Natla adventure that will go into Underworld, but also connects to Legends. And then you will have Catalyst after Underworlds. At the same time, none of this makes sense because there's a lot of people that Lara meets, people that eventually also die. So there's a lot of plot holes. But I think at the same time, that's like still the best way to see the timeline, because as we've now confirmed, Legacy of Atlantis is not a standalone game. It's still part of the timeline. It's still after the reboot trilogy. But it has a lot of tweaks to work around because a lot of relationships have to change for all of the games to work together as a whole thing. The multiverse would not be like a very bad thing to even go there. But I think it still works for us to just, just not treat this to be so serious, to not have this so perfectly connected. I think we can just appreciate it for what it is. We finally have Lara at her prime, like we've been said now. So I'm just interested to see how it will play as well on Catalyst, because it is confirmed that it is after Underworld. So she will have all of these experiences before her. So I think that's going to be very cool to experience. But that's just my take on it. Everyone can have their own opinions to it. I am not that focused on having it so perfectly put on a timeline, you know. I guess I can just appreciate every era for what it is, and that's about it, honestly.
Extras that we can expect, like, you know, or Easter eggs referencing the original games,
Yes,
stuff like that.
plenty.
Yes. Give me
Perfect.
like one example.
It wouldn't be
know where to find
it wouldn't be a surprise if I gave
Yeah,
it to
don't
you.
tell me, honestly. Don't tell me.
I will say this: you've played the demo, so you probably saw in some of areas there were things for you to collect,
Yes,
things for you to find.
yeah.
So
Nice.
we are being very deliberate in what we hide and where. We have a plethora of several generations of developers of Tomb Raider that know the franchise very well. So if you're a fan,
We did see
you're
that there's a
definitely
TRLE
going to
developer
spot a
there,
couple things.
so I'm happy to that as
and
well.
I guess lastly
I'm so
here,
glad they
I was lucky
actually
enough to play
mentioned
on a
TRLE.
awesome PC, beautiful monitor.
I've played amazing
game looked
ones
amazing
already.
in Unreal 5. A lot of people will play this on their PS5, certainly. Any PS5 Pro enhancements that we can talk about today? You guys
Oh,
gonna be
interesting
dialing anything up
question.
if you've got a PS5 Pro at home.
We're primarily focusing on the demo stuff today, but we'll
Yeah.
be happy to talk about more things in that vein.
Personally, I'm playing
I gotta
on
try, guys.
the
It's
computer.
my job to try. All right, Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. It is coming out February 12th, 2027. And for more on that and all things in the world of gaming, keep it tuned right here to IGN.
Ah, we have such new things. We have such new things. Also, go check out this video by the Icons Radar Cast and Lara Croft, because Lara Croft was one of the very few people that also played the demo, and I could not be happier and to check out their video later. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for being in here with me on YouTube, just reacting and analyzing everything that we can. It's just such a breath of fresh air to just have so many things to talk about. It's such an exciting time to be a fan of Tomb Raider and a fan of Lara Croft herself. And I'm just so excited about everything. Even the voice actress, Alex, has been wonderful. She's promoting the hell out of Tomb Raider and Lara Croft, and it's just so delightful to see. I really can't wait to play this on February 12th, 2027, and it's gonna be one of my favorite games for sure by that year. And yeah, guys, I really appreciate y'all for being in here. I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.